This is Carl from PanelRV Detroit. I'm going to walk you through this 2024 Bullet Crossfire, and the model number is 1700 BH. BH for bunkhouse. This is a how-to video. It's not a floor plan, so this is just gonna show you a few of the features and how they work. Okay. So you've got regular crank down scissor type stabilizers. You have a power awning with LED strip. This is the vent for the range hood right here. So if you're going to be venting to the outside, you always want to reach up here and flip the baffle free so it flaps freely when you're venting to the outside. When you're not, if you're just traveling or in storage, you can just snap it shut. But if you're going to vent, you want that open. That's your furnace vent there. You just have some power here. Okay. You have a hitch for this. So this is a Husky centerline weight distribution hitch with built-in sway control. We'll show you how that operates when you pick up. Okay. Up front here we have of course your LP regulator and your LP tank, 20-pound tank, which is full. You've got a deep cycle marine battery, brand new, and this battery has a kill switch right here. So you can see it's in the off position now. If I want it on, I can turn it to the on position right there. Okay. So when you put it in storage, you can always just shut it off. That way it doesn't drain your battery down as quickly. You can, you know, it'll still have a charge when you come back around next time. There's your crank right there. This is a dump hose, and this is a reducer to reduce from 30 amp to 20 amp. Okay. Your prep for solar and prep for inverter, so it's already pre-wired for those things if you want to add them. Okay, the most common place to get water, or the most common way to get water in the system is the fresh water, or excuse me, the city water hookup. So you get to the campsite, you just screw the hose on there and you're all set. Now if you're camping someplace without city water, like you're boondocking or whatever, you can always pre-fill the fresh water tank right here and then use the onboard pump to pump the water. So I'll show you how where the pump is, the switch for the pump when we get inside. But 9 times out of 10 you're going to be using regular city water. If for some reason you don't have city water, you can always use the fresh water tank. Okay, it's 30 amp, 30-foot power cord, short cord. That's just a campground cable through. This is your water heater, but it's an on-demand water heater. Well, let me get this open here. Hopefully I can do it with one hand. It's new. It looks like there's a little bit of caulk on it. I'm going to set the camera down for 1 second. I need 2 hands. Okay. Okay, so the controls are on the inside. The only thing to remember is there is a switch right here. Just remember that it's there. Okay, in case for some reason it gets turned off and you can't get power or whatever, remember to check here and check that switch, okay? Alright, so I'll talk some more about the on-demand when we get inside. Okay. Some storage here. It's pre-wired for a backup camera. You can see that little cover up there. It's pre-wired. Also, while we're looking up here, manufacturer states every 60 to 90 days you want to send somebody up on the roof to look around to make sure there's no cracking or separation at any sealant. Make sure there's no damage to the roofing material or roofing attachments by, you know, low branches or road debris flying up there. You can't see what's happening on the roof unless someone looks, so part of your regular maintenance should be roof inspection, so keep that in mind, please. That's important. Okay, so let's go inside where the furnace is running because I turned it on a few minutes ago. Okay, let's get some more light here. Okay, here. Alright, so over here, this is your control panel right here. You see I've got the porch, or the awning lights on here and the ceiling light. If this switch here is for your power awning, you can see right here. Very simple. Never leave the awning out unattended. If you're not going to be at the campsite, roll it in so it doesn't get damaged. To turn on your water pump, it's right there. Remember, you use the water pump to pump water out of the fresh water tank if you don't have city water. You also use that to winterize the trailer. And then of course your levels here: battery, fresh water, black, gray. Graduates up in 1/3 increments. So keep in mind, this is your controller for your on-demand water. So right now that switch is off because it's been in storage. So I'm just going to talk you through this. The most important thing to remember is that it will not operate unless there is a gas supply to it and there's a water supply to it. So you have to be hooked up to city water, or you have to have water in your fresh water tank with a water pump on, or else this will not turn on. It won't do anything. It's just a built-in safety device. So if you have gas plus water, you're just going to turn it on, and the temperatures to set is right here. It's going to be set for probably 115, which is pretty typical. But basically it's just going to give you a steady flow of hot water, which is important when you're using the shower, because there's never enough water with a 6-gallon tank to take a decent shower. So this will give you non-stop water. So if for some reason it doesn't work, there's that switch outside that we just talked about. You have to make sure the gas is turned on and there's a gas supply, and then you have to make sure there's a water supply, right? If it's not working, check those 3 things and it'll be one of them. So it's that simple. Okay, your keys are hanging right here on the faucet. This is your range hood, light and vent. Remember I told you can hear it running. If you're going to be venting to the outside, you want to open the baffle on your outside vent. Of course, you have your cooktop here. You just light it with a lighter. Just turn it on, just like a grill. Okay. Your microwave works like any other microwave. Your refrigerator is a 12-volt DC refrigerator, so it runs on 12-volt DC, but it does have a compressor, so it's got plenty of room inside. Nice size freezer. Okay. Always make sure you have this lock or latch flipped over so you don't dent the doors going down the road. You know, they'll fly open and that sort of thing. Alrighty. Okay, so now down here, this device is your power converter. Okay. So what it does, it converts AC to DC power. So on this side, you have regular 110 AC circuit breakers, right? Just like you'd have at home. So then, this is when you're plugged in, of course. So then when it converts the power to 12-volt DC on this side, and you got 12-volt fuses right there. Okay. So when you're plugged in, this will take your 110 AC, convert it to 12-volt DC. Everything that can run on 12-volt DC in a trailer does. The air conditioning can't run on 12 volts, and the microwave can't run on 12 volts, for example. Everything else does, for the most part. This is also a battery tender, so as long as you're plugged in, it's going to sense how much energy your battery up front on the tongue has and needs, and it'll always send enough amps to keep it charged. So it's also a battery charger. Okay, that's the power converter. Over here, this is your carbon monoxide and LP gas detector. It should always be green. If not, get it serviced, because it's obviously very important. If it detects carbon monoxide buildup, it'll go off. If it detects LP leak, it'll go off and give you a warning that there's a problem. So it should always be glowing green. Okay, this is your furnace, and this is your thermostat. So right now we're on. To shut it off, you go to the left and you listen for this click. Just like that. So when you click it to the left like that, it's off. So obviously when you're traveling and that sort of thing, or in storage or whatever, you always want it off. The only time you're going to turn it on is when you need to use it. Alright? Let's see here. Okay, so the bathroom has a vent with a fan. Sink and shower work like any other sink and shower. It's all pretty much self-evident. This plug here is a GFCI, so keep in mind that all the plugs in the trailer are wired through a GFCI. So if you're using the one outside, or any other one I should say, and it pops, you're going to reset it here, for example. Okay. The toilet is typical RV toilet in that it sits right over a black tank. There's a flush pedal right here. So when you get to the campground, you hook up your power and your water. You'll come in here, you put a dose of chemical right in the bowl. Then you're going to step on it, water will come swirling out. And you stand on that long enough for at least a gallon of water along with the chemical to go into the black tank below. Then it's ready to be used. If you don't do that, it's considered using it dry. If you use it dry, it'll smell super terrible and it'll get clogged up also. So you always want chemical and at least a gallon of water before you start using it. Alright? It's all very simple. Okay, so the table, you can pull the legs off of it and set the tabletop down onto these cleats here. You see one there, and there's 4 of them all together. And then you can use the cushions to fill in the space, and you have a extra bed. You've got your 2 bunks here, plus the extra bed here, of course. Then your main bed over here. There's a little bit of storage underneath it. Okay. Let's see here. There's going to be an emergency window, which will be over here. Right here. This is an emergency escape window here. Works like most of them do. You have this thing here, and you pull it up, push it all the way through, and then you're going to grab a hold of this knob here and pull the screen loose, and then you can escape during an emergency. Okay. You can also leave it in this position and use it for ventilation, of course. Okay. All right. So, last but not least, your air conditioner is right here. You have a thermostat here, and then you have your two fan speeds and 2 air conditioning speeds here. So 4 options. Okay. So I want to thank you for purchasing your trailer here at National RV Detroit. Please remember to inspect your roof every 60 to 90 days. It's important to inspect your roof. You're just protecting your investment. You can't see what's happening up there unless somebody looks. Right now this is winterized, meaning the water's been purged from the system and replaced with antifreeze, so we're winterized right now, okay? When you come in, we'll tell you about your hitch and we'll answer any of your questions. So you can, after you watch this video, I'm sure you're going to have questions after you look through your trailer, so we'll take care of it then, okay? Thank you.